Hi, everybody. Another week. How is everyone? What's everyone been doing? I hope everybody's been asking that question today because it's Are You OK Day, and it's a really good reminder for us at the moment to keep in touch with each other because it's really hard for everybody in every state. Hi, Patrick. I actually saw you pop into the room. Thank you for joining us today. So today we've got Luke O'Shea joining us. He's going to have a chat about his single that he released in August. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. Night shifts this week, Patrick. Yuck. I don't enjoy night shift. We might welcome Luke into the room. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Danny. Hey, everyone out there in cyber world.
Yes.
Hope you're safe and warm.
I think so. How have you been going through all of this?
Look, I got to say, for the first couple of weeks, I had the kind of wind kicked out of me because, we had so many great tours lined up. I had a brand new album. It takes a really long time to put an album together and tours and runs together. So when that diary had a big line through it, I was kind of a bit defeated. But then I got used to the time and the drop in frequency, and I had another very long list of jobs that I'd been putting off for years that I was then able to get into. And so I really enjoyed kind of ticking off all the renovations and jobs around the house. But now that they're coming to an end, I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs. I've loved digging out the surfboards and just checking out the waves and spending time with family and friends. But, man, I miss the road and my family out there and so many areas around Australia.
Yes, so you're going to get back out to that busy schedule as soon as you can by the sound of that?
I don't think anybody will get back to how intense it was before COVID. I think it's probably got us all a little bit too used to this normal kind of life. I think we've all kind of realized that the balance sometimes can swing too far the other way. And now we've gone the other way. I think we'll strive to find more of a balance between the family and at home, because it has been really a bit of a blessing in disguise. I know people have been doing it tough and it's really affected us all financially, etc. But money can't buy the time that you have with friends and family and just your own community. And that's what I feel I've really connected with over this last couple of months. And I don't know how intense it'll come back when everyone is allowed to green light again, but I can't see the world really getting to that stage for a while yet. It's going to take a very magic kind of little pill or little in the arm to make that happen.
Yes, I agree. It's a little while off, and I think, everyone's saying they just have to get a vaccine for it, but it's not that simple. It takes a lot to make it, and, they're testing it. They don't want to give us something that's going to make us sick, which is great.
Yeah. But I don't have COVID anymore, but my head just exploded.
I don't have an arm.
Anymore. So it killed me. COVID.
COVID or losing arm. Rob has just popped in and he's watching from YouTube, which reminds me, guys, you can actually watch from YouTube or the website as well. So people that are commenting can't all see the different platforms, but Rob said he's been listening to Luke's music on Spotify.
Thanks, Rob. Cheers, mate.
And just before we continue, we were going to do a live song today, but we've had a few issues with audio and programming. So Beck has just wonderfully popped in all the platforms. She's popped in the YouTube link, which will take them to the single, to the film clip of your new single.
She's clever, that chick, I tell you.
She's wonderful, isn't she? If it wasn't for Beck, I don't think many of us would have got through COVID.
Yeah, she's gang ho. I've enjoyed watching her workouts.
Yes. She's fast.
I'm going to start doing some push-ups too.
Yeah, no, I'll do sit-ups, but not push-ups.
Yeah, pick one or the other. But no, it's been great to see a lot of people just kind of keep themselves active through this COVID time, and really take a positive out of something which can be quite negative.
I've actually heard more positive stories than negative, which is really something that I think is great. People are telling me they've had a rest which they hadn't done in years. They've done all sorts of things at home, and I think it's wonderful. I think when people do start going back, dogs are going to be very upset.
My dog will be, for sure. Just looks at me now going, "Come on, we're going to the beach. This is what we do.
That's what we do every day."
Can I play my guitar? No.
On the beach.
Yeah. Walk. Now,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's funny. Yeah, it's very spoiled at the moment. Lots of walks.
Yes, they're going to be very unfit again very soon. Now, Luke, you've released a single. Is you've done that during COVID? Happy Australia Day. Is there a reason that you chose to do that now throughout COVID?
Yeah, look, it's just it was always earmarked as a single, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
I think everyone knows out there that I'm a school teacher. I've been a school teacher for 30 years, actually, as long as I've been a musician. And the two have really sustained each other over the years. And, the more time I spent on the road, the more I stepped away from teaching. But as a history teacher in a boys' high school, it always struck me just how little we actually teach and how much little we learn about our own history. Here we are teaching, medieval Europe and ancient Egypt and Greece, and we're even covering Chinese dynasties now for some obscure reason. But we're not. We really gloss over our own history, where there are some remarkable individuals out there that should be in our vernacular, and it kind of made me a bit cross. And instead of just stomping my feet, I decided it was time to create a kind of song and a video which could be used in the classroom to hopefully educate generations of Australians coming through, so that we do learn. We have more knowledge of American civil rights activists like Martin Luther King. We even know about Gandhi and Mother Teresa, but we've got some remarkable Indigenous Australians that fought the same battles that they did and performed the same social miracles that we should know about and be proud of, because they've helped shape this country to be what it is now. And it's a good place, but through understanding the history, we can understand where we are now, and hopefully that can inform us to make better decisions about things, about our future, and make it more unified.
Absolutely. I like how you've done the song, and I've listened to it quite a few times. But listening to it again tonight before we went live, I was sort of thinking, there's so many names in there that I knew, and then when you really listen, there's even some that you don't know, and it makes you go, oh, I want to find out more about that person. So
yeah, not just for you, Danny, that was for me as well. I was a bit ashamed about my own ignorance, and that's why it was so great to write with Kevin Bennett on this song, because he brought names to me of remarkable human beings that I just didn't know about. And the saying is that you teach best what you need to learn most. And that's the case with this song. I really had to do my homework and find out who these people were. Where did they live? What did they do? Why did they have to fight, and or stand up and kind of, hit the hornet's nest, really. And they're remarkable people. They really are. And it's been a real awakening for me, and puts the fire in my belly to really try and get this song out there and to connect with and hopefully educate, more Australians like myself that just weren't taught it at school.
No, I was thinking that too. I heard of some of those names through school, but probably actually I've heard of more of them through music. A lot of them. That's really good, because we are teaching quite a lot of people.
And that's the beauty of country music. I'm forever in debt to country music because it does give you a platform to tell a story.
Yes.
And in my experience as a human being, there's no faster way of connecting with another human being than through a song. I've seen pretty tough men, break down in tears within a 3-minute song.
Yes.
And I don't know how else to explain it. It's just magic. And when you can craft a song that can, touch another person, and make them see the world in perhaps a new way within just a few minutes, then that's a job well done and satisfying for a writer. And I feel like I'm exposed to how kids learn so much because I'm there each day pretty much in classrooms, and you see how they react to visual stimulus. And once you put that music as well and fast images, that they can tell a story, the cliche, a picture tells 1,000 words. Well, sometimes it tells more than 1,000 words. And that's what we really try to encapsulate in this video. Just tell the story with visuals as well as link it to actual facts. And there's no propaganda in this. I'm not on any side of a political fence. I'm not trying to sell a social movement. I'm just trying to present facts that I wish I was taught in school that would help me probably understand why we're in a scenario that we are today with certain events, and hopefully that in turn gives us all a better education, or viewpoint on what's to come.
Absolutely. In fact, it's one of those things that when I was listening to it, I actually thought, well, it would have been more beneficial for me to be taught that than a lot of the other things that we did. So hopefully it makes people think. Have you been teaching, as you've been learning for this song, have you been teaching these things with your students?
Yeah, look, absolutely. There's in a boys' high school, there's kind of a grudge respect for somebody who has an interest other than, a life outside of teaching. The boys know that I love music and the art and craft of songwriting, and I don't jam it down anyone's throat. They usually discover it and kind of say a slow word on the playground. I liked your new single, sir, or I liked you, yeah. And so it's not done in front of anyone's mates. They just quietly say that they've seen it and the song's connected. But occasionally there's particular songs of mine that have really resonated, particularly with boys, be it Three Brothers, The Great War, or even The Drover's Wife. There's some Australian stories out there that really do seem to connect with us. And
Yes.
That's my goal, is to make sure that we bring up this incredible country and its remarkable people that it's got on it now and has had in its past.
Yes, absolutely. Now, there's a lot of comments coming in for you, and they are going quite fast. But Rick has said, hi, Luke. Kaz, she said, it's an important song, and so bloody true, she said, sadly, that it's not being taught in classes. And Rick said it's a very gutsy song, and thank you for writing it. I can't see all of Rob's comment. He said he agrees that country music tells stories some of us never knew, and it's like I knew about it to Joe McKean till I listened to the song Lady of the Land. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, how good. I can't wait to see the movie too. I
know.
It's very exciting. But it's just our history. It's like all histories. It's brilliant and it's diabolical. It's beautiful and it's tragic. But you know what? Own it. Just admit to it all. Own it, learn from it. Don't repeat it if you've stuffed up. But it's life. And I think the first thing we got to do is just start looking back and just learning what happened. And it's not an easy thing to do, because a lot of what we did, and what happened, both sides of the fence is pretty young. And that's why there's that line, what we must learn first is that we're better than our worst, and respect for each other's got to start here.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We can't learn from our past if we don't know it. So, it's, and I think this song, and I hope this song does that for a lot of people. I know it's got my names on my list that I want to go and read about now. So hopefully it's done that for a lot of people listening. Have you had the opportunity, obviously before COVID, I know because your album has been out for a little while, have you had the opportunity to perform this song very much?
You know what? Out of all the songs that I have written, Danny, this is the most challenging one for me to play live, because it really does cross a boundary where you go, okay, I'm an entertainer, of course, but I'm also a songwriter, and there's things that songwriters need to express, and sometimes they're songs that make you, there's an issue that made you angry, or there's something that makes you proud, and there's something that makes you laugh out loud. And so part of the responsibility of being an artist is to take the people who enjoy your art on a journey, not just give them the happy holes every day. I'm sure that there's people who do appreciate just being put in a happy space all the time. And there's artists for that, and I love them too. But my role as a writer, I really want to make, I don't know, people think a bit, and as well as dance. So you have your moment where you have a dance, or you have your moment where you have a laugh, or then hopefully there's songs out there that might affect you where you have a tear. Yeah. This one's to hopefully educate and make us think a little bit, maybe change a perspective that might have been held on to because we didn't know all the facts. And so there's a time coming up very soon where Australians are going to be faced with, and it's about radical change. When Queen Elizabeth II decides to move on, Australia is going to hit a crossroad. And I want us to be ready for those decisions that are going to be made and have educated perspectives as to what's going to happen. And so the last few songs that I put out there, of course, I've got Right Now Station, which is a lot more happier and, festival friendly. But then there's other songs that I want to say that, I want us to be ready for change.
Yes. So yeah, and that's, I think people probably, when they listen to it and they're learning from it, you don't even realize that you're taking away more than just that moment. It's these sorts of things, and it's learning. It's really good. I think that's
thanks. Well, it is a challenge to play, Danny, and good question, because sometimes I feel like I have shied away from it, and it has been, it has been very rewarding to know that the song, even though it's been hard for me to kind of share with people, has really connected, and it's done its job in regards to maybe starting the process of healing and education, and hopefully that continues to do, because that's its intention. It's not meant to offend. It's not meant to start fights, but it is meant to start discussions, and
absolutely.
hopefully it's doing that.
Have you had a lot of feedback since August 19th, when you really started to get this song out there? Have you had a lot of feedback about the song, you or Kevin? Have you
Yeah, we've done a few interviews together. It's been great.
Oh, I can't hear you. No, let's try. No, still can't hear you.
Oh,
there we are. Got you.
Sorry about this. It's a little vortex here. I've found a little spot in the house where I can kind of hopefully maintain it. So, sorry, the question again, Danny, was?
Have you or Kevin or both of you had a lot of feedback about the song?
I have. We really have, and it's been extremely positive, because I think even, I've got some pretty, there's no other way to explain it, but pretty redneck mates, and I love them, and I love their viewpoints and their opinions, and I respect their viewpoints and opinions. And this has been a confusing song for them, because they want to know, after listening to the song and watching the video, they realize that I'm not really telling anybody what to do.
No.
I'm just, neither Kev, we're just giving the facts, and we're not glossing them over. We're not portraying one side to be better than the other. We are just presenting facts, and you can't argue with the truth. You might not like it, but we're not pushing any agenda. As I said, we're not aligning ourselves with any movement. We're not a government body. We're not trying to do anything other than fill in some missing holes in an education system, which I see on a pretty constant basis. And so even when you are faced with those people that are very staunch in their beliefs about not wanting to change certain things and events, you just go, that's fine. But when you present them the facts, they seem to gain a new perspective of perhaps why we are where we are currently. And that is what it's about. It's about seeing the person's perspective from another point of view.
Yeah.
That's its intention.
That's actually something that, for quite a few people, that would be very hard to get through, to make people see things from another perspective. So to be able to do that, that is very well written and very hard for a lot of people to think. But when you were writing this with Kevin, it would have been, did you find that it was hard to not put your perspective into it, to just put straight facts? Was that something you had to keep pulling yourself back, or was it just how it flowed?
Yeah, good question again, Danny. It is very hard when you are trying to, obviously I have a clear opinion on things, and you don't want to, you are respectful at the same time of other people's opinions.
Yes.
So I'm very aware when writing, as is KB, that, nobody likes an opinion forced down their throat. You want, it's the same in a classroom. The role of a teacher is just to provide the information and put it up there, and then you design it some way where they discover it for themselves. And that's where the strongest learning comes from, is when they crack the nut and when they find that answer for them, and then they just go, right. And it's a strong lesson. And that's how we really attempted this song, where you just go, here, just the facts, and discover it for yourself. Talk to people about this. Google these names. Find out why they rose to the fore. And you might not like some of their stories, and it might reaffirm certain beliefs that you hold, and that's great. Find out why, but at least have the knowledge behind your opinion rather than it just inherited. And that's what we have. We have a lot of inherited beliefs that come from a place of I don't want to say ignorance, but places where we haven't had the education deemed important in our school system, and that's changing, and you can feel that change. And this is just another tool for teachers to use in a classroom or in society to create a nice unit of work to learn a bit more about some remarkable Australians.
Well, this is how the world changes, isn't it? Slowly but surely.
Bit by bit, and I'm not in a rush, So let's and that again, I said that's why I'm so grateful to country music, because it does. Country music people are so, I know they get jeered at, but they are the most intelligent music listeners out there, I feel, because they have the patience to start at a song from the point A all the way through to Z. They understand that the country song really is all about that third verse to a degree, where it all starts to make sense. They go on that journey, and I've made some pretty tricky songs, pretty cryptic as well, and they've never, ever ceased to amaze me with how they pick up on certain nuances and codes and things that I've just kind of thought, well, maybe one or two might pick up on that. But no, each and every time they get it, and that means a lot to me, and I would never underestimate the intelligence and the of the country music listener, and that's what I try to write for.
Yes.
I really do.
Absolutely. Well, before we wrap up, because we're not doing the song live, I want to remind everyone, if they've only just popped in, at the top of the comments, through all those comments, there is actually a link to the film clip. And again, tell us a little bit about when you were putting that film clip together. Did it take quite a bit of searching and figuring out, trying to put that together?
Yeah, it sure did. Heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I worked with great Jay Sini from Blacklist Production. He makes some great movies, videos for people, and it was very, very difficult to make sure that you, as I said, steered away from propaganda, steered away from anything that aligned itself with movements, because you are trying to find these historical pieces of writings, images, paintings from a time when there wasn't much around. So what you do also discover is just how heartbreaking some of these images are, and you start learning where these images come from, and it does hurt. It hurts your chest, to know that this was happening in our country, and how little we know about it. And but that's, as I said, let's just own it. Let's work together to move on from it and heal and make it a even better place than it already is.
Absolutely. Well, if you haven't already seen the film clip, when we finish here, head up to the top of the comments and have a look, because it goes for about 4 minutes or a little bit over, and it is really, you can learn a lot in a very short period of time, and it's great. It's very entertaining as well, so you will love it. Luke, where can everybody find you? Or even the album, can they order the album through you? What's the best place to?
If you still love the hard copy as I do, it's scattered all over my car, but the hard copy is still available via my website, and record stores can order it in. Just lukeoshea.com, and I can send it out to you signed, and or all the other avenues which you're familiar with, the Spotify's, YouTube, iTunes, all that stuff.
Wonderful. So jump over, if you haven't already, if you're on Facebook, like Luke's Facebook page when we're finished here. And if you're on YouTube, go over and subscribe, because YouTube's something that I think people are still sort of getting the hang of subscribing and liking songs, because people watch.
That's me. I'm a bit of a digital moron in regard to understanding how to encourage people. And I only recently got my Facebook page hacked and completely deleted from Facebook, but that might be coming back. I don't know. I just
never know. It's
stay posted. So if if you'd like to like the Facebook page, it's starting from scratch again, but hopefully the other one might reappear soon. I don't know. And same with my YouTube account. So I think that's still under my name, but for some reason my face is not attached to it anymore. But maybe that's I just thought I was too ugly. I don't know. Something's going on.
Oh, YouTube is very confusing, honestly. Is there do you have any gigs that are booked at all coming up? Nothing at the moment, or? Oh, made him think. I had to, it's late at night.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. You know, I had every time I keep trying to put something together, I get a line or a call just saying sorry due to COVID, and so you just go, well, I'm just going to sit back. And this was the heartbreaking bit about finding out about Tamworth of 2020.
Yes, I know.
I think everyone was ready just to write off 2020 as a special year.
Yep.
And then everyone's going, but 2021 will be different. And then to get the kind of no. You just go, oh, really?
I know. Yeah, it really hit hard.
Not to finish on a downer, but that sucked. I'm going to miss Tamworth, but I'll still go up. I'll still be there in some capacity. I'll still try and do COVID-friendly shows up there. The thought of not going up there is just impossible. I can't conceive it.
Yes, I know. This year, it's stuck down here on this little island. We all know that we're not getting out until the end of the year, but Tamworth was the one thing that I've been working towards, knowing that, you know, there's a chance, but now it's gone. It's just...
Yeah, I know. Anyway, maybe there'll be more.
There's going to be more. And just imagine when Tamworth goes ahead, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
2022 will be our year, all twos.
The big 50.
Is that 2022?
50th Tamworth. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Well, does it count if we miss
50th Golden Guitars or 50th Tamworth? I'm not sure, one of the two.
Then if we miss, because of the Golden Guitars will still be going ahead, it'll still be 49 this one and then 50 that one, won't it?
Right.
Yeah, so big year. And the town better find some more accommodation because there's going to be a lot more people coming, I reckon.
Is open anyway.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Danny.
We'll love to have you back. Sounds much better. Before we go, have you got any more singles planned for this year?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. They posted. There's a duet there with the wonderful and the cheeky Miss Ashley Dallas, who I love dearly. We've got a new single out there, which will go. Actually, it'll drop pretty soon, I reckon. Like, called The Long Way Around. So check that one out and tell me if you like it. But it's that with little Ashley Dallas.
Excellent. I cannot wait for that one, and hopefully we can have you back again in time for that next single. And if somebody gets to your show in Tamworth, they better film it for us and put it up.
Thanks. Cheers, everyone. Thanks, everybody. And stay safe, Mom. We'll see you when the storm clears.
Absolutely. See you guys.